Welcome back to Morning Live. Onesimus Kamande and Steve Rigunjuguna are in studio, and we want to have a very candid discussion because as it is, English teams, both Europa League and Champions League have met. Wow. Arsenal, Chelsea, Europa League, and of course Spurs, Liverpool, Champions League. Who expected this? And Spurs and Liverpool registered one of the most remarkable comebacks ever to witness, of course, in the Champions League. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning.
Welcome to Switch TV.
Thank you very much.
I was waiting for this time to invite you, you know. I was waiting for this time to invite you.
It has arrived.
Because, yeah, it has arrived because I know you were somewhere kind of tight, but now we're here together.
Yes.
Onesimus, good morning, my brother.
Morning to you, man.
What happened over the weekend, man? Not even over the weekend. The weekday.
Over the week.
Over the week. It's amazing, Steve. Like, wow, who thought that could happen? 3-0 down, 4-0. What else? 1-0 down. You give it 2 again. You score 3.
3-0.
3. Wow.
3-3.
Yeah.
I think there are very few things in life that are more unpredictable than football.
That was big.
I think for all those people who don't watch football out there, after this week, you need to have a really huge soul searching.
Self-assessment.
And ask yourself,
what is happening to my life?
or just see what you're missing out on. Because
true.
personally, if you look at me, you look at Onesimus, we're all sleep deprived. The games have been starting at 11.
Even me, by the way.
You've not been sleeping.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking, I've watched the one last night. Let me go to sleep. Then you just think, maybe they'll do a comeback. And they do a comeback.
Do you know, Liverpool, they're taking on Barcelona. You know, I slept at halftime. But I had guys shouting, I had to wake up, but I had to come back. Yeah.
But it even goes beyond that. Remember on Monday, there was that classic company goal that kick-started a week.
Yes.
So it tells you how good and how bad it has been all the way to Thursday.
Yeah.
No one could sleep. Yesterday, one team qualified on Thursday for the Europa League final. Then the other one decided, hata tunaweza ifanya kesho.
By the way,
So they waited to Friday. They qualified today in the morning.
Anyway, Steve, now looking at Liverpool, that was a mind-boggling also. We never expected it. We really never expected it. 3-0 down. I know AS Roma did it against Barca, but still beating Barca 4-0 at Anfield.
I think, Arsene Wenger put it very well last week. I was watching a bit of analysis he was doing. He said the worst place in the world to go to a return leg is Anfield, because the pitch is close to, the fans are close to the pitch, the way the stadium is structured. The noise will get to you. Even if you're the best player in the world, who is Messi, everything will affect you. And that came out, and credit to Liverpool for stepping up to the challenge.
Yeah.
They didn't have Firmino, they didn't have Salah. Origi did spectacularly well,
Yeah.
considering that was his one of his major stats of this season. Shaqiri also did very well in the game. Wijnaldum was started on the bench. He came on and he scored 2 goals, including the winner. So
Goodness, yeah.
This is a Liverpool squad who, you look at the starting 11, you look at the bench, there is no player who did not give 150%.
Yeah.
And as a coach and as a fan, there is nothing more you really want. Even if they had lost that game, I'm sure the fans would have applauded.
It's true. Complacency, Barcelona.
Not really. I thought after the first leg performance by Liverpool, they must have gone into the changing room, looked at it, being forced to see the picture behind the picture. They were dominant in that game. They had 13 chances, 7 on target. Actually, Barcelona had less. Then that said, you also have to say that even the toss favored them very, very well, because they got to attack the cop end in the second half.
Yeah, it's
Nobody wants to defend that goalpost when Liverpool is looking for a comeback.
Interesting.
No one does.
Interesting. Look at the first goal. We expected Liverpool will actually start in a good way. Of course, kind of with lots of pressure. Origi tapping, whatever goal it was, whatever decided to score, that was a very important goal. What do you think about now the dynamics of the pressure during the first half?
I think the first thing every coach will tell people is, even if you don't score in the first half, we all want an early goal.
Yeah, sure.
But even if you don't score in the first half, if you get to the first half and your side of the scoreboard is 0, meaning they haven't scored, Barcelona haven't scored, then you're doing good. Because if Barcelona scored, it means you'll need 5.
Yeah, it's true that.
So I think Liverpool's biggest achievement, apart from getting the early goal, even if they had gone in at halftime at 0-0, they would still have had a chance.
Okay.
Because that 0 is the most important thing.
Interesting. Yeah.
So actually, the thing you have to discuss at halftime when you're leading 1-0 is, or even when you're leading 2-0, the next question is, we can't afford to concede the next goal.
It's true that.
That must have been what have been said. And credit to Klopp, what he did at halftime after Robertson injury is just amazing. He decided, you guy, 1-0, we need 3 more goals to win this on the night, and to win it and qualify for the final. So he decided, no, I'm not going to be pressured to bring in Gomez very early. I'll go with Winlam and move Milner to the wing back, not even a full back.
Wing back, actually.
Wing back, and he decided that wherever Messi is receiving the ball in the midfield, he had to come with VVD. And VVD did a very, very good job on him.
Steve, second goal now. Do you think that's where now at least there was some hope whereby now we think we can really beat these guys and, of course, make it to the finals?
You know, the thing about the first goal is still, you still feel like we have a huge mountain to climb.
Yeah, it's true.
The second goal is more mental than even physical, because now Barcelona themselves will start thinking, guy, we are throwing this thing away.
It's true that,
They'll start panicking because you notice the sequence of Wijnaldum's both goals. They were all following within 2 minutes.
Part of 2 minutes, actually.
Yeah. So you find that he scored the first goal, and even Klopp must have told them, look at the body language of the Barcelona players. They are dropping. Their confidence is oozing out of them. Take advantage right now. And the next attack they pushed and they scored. So it's the case of a phrase we commonly say here in Kenya. Ukipata mnyonge, pita na yeye.
But Steve, you can't ignore the fact that I thought Valverde got his tactics wrong. Number one, he decided to play 3 players in midfield that for me are very defensive. You play Vidal, you play Busquets, and you play Rakitic. Even in Croatia, Rakitic is not the most offensive player in that midfield. It's always been Modric. And then you decide that on the wings, you're not going to have a lot of pace because on one side it's Coutinho. On the other, you decide that Sergio Roberto is going to play on the right back. And that really exposes you on the left back, because there won't be any balance. Sergio Roberto is not like the recovery kind of player. Busquets is no longer Busquets at all. And I felt that's where they lost it. It's about time Barcelona got back to being Barcelona. It's a little bit frustrating for me.
In a span of 2 minutes, 3-0. Goodness, we never expected this. Wijnaldum again coming very, very at the opportune time. Sumptuous header to give now Liverpool that kind of a confidence that indeed this will go through with it. Now, what do you think it was running in Klopp's mind? Because now, as much as Salah wasn't around, Firmino not around, key players actually not around. What do you think was going through his mind when he was 3-0 up?
Keep calm.
Keep calm.
Because the truth of the matter is, 3-0 doesn't mean anything. It means we've just equalized the tie. If Barcelona get a goal, they get a good moment in the match. They have the quality to kill it off. So he told them, we are 3-0 up now. Keep calm. And make sure that the next goal is not, we are not the ones conceding it. Either we get a fourth or we take this into extra time, because Barcelona are away. They'll feel more tired than Liverpool. Liverpool have the fans uplifting them. So I think Klopp was even probably more nervous at 3-0 than at 2-0 or 1-0.
Because if Barca wangefunga tu moja.
Now that's the thing. Barca have been eliminated in the Champions League for the last 3 seasons, courtesy of not scoring away from home. That tells the whole story.
Is it that they're too comfortable? Like they know they'll score? Like, because even Roma beat them.
I think they're in a transition period where things must be managed carefully. I thought after the first goal, Messi had a sitter, the cutback from Alba, Jordi Alba. I think he could have just used his right foot and scored. But there's this thing, to be honest, I don't want to discuss about who's the GOAT here. But the GOAT at this point really sucks at big games. Whenever is required to deliver the goods. Pressure gets to
is it too soon to judge? The first leg in Force Camp Nou, that was a different ball game. Like, look at how they played. How even the Messi's goal, like, people now said, whoa, what is that?
But the truth of the matter is, even in the first leg, if you had subtracted Messi from the equation, Liverpool would have won 3 or 4-0. The truth of the matter is, Valverde is different from Pep, from Luis Enrique, in the fact that he doesn't really play the Barcelona way. He's willing to defend and play on the counter-attack, use Messi's pace, use Coutinho's pace. And whereas it has been successful in the league at times, in the Champions League he's had a few shortfalls, because everybody knows This is how Messi is going to play at home. Messi is going to be very good. We are going to pray he doesn't score. And if he scores, oi.
It's
But
not big. Yeah.
when Messi goes away, Messi plays very well. The team doesn't play well because when they go away, they are thinking, this is a tough away game. Only one man can save us, and that's Messi. And that's the problem because for me, I saw Coutinho in that game. He was virtually invisible. Sergio Roberto was very, very poor at right back. Even Semedo came in and made a bit of more impact than him. So I feel like Barcelona is good. And there was a time Barcelona was almost as good as Messi. But now it's clear that without Messi, Barcelona are not good at all.
And Steve, you also have to say, good teams learn from mistakes. From that first leg, you could see when Messi got a free kick in the second half, the wall was kind of different. Initially, when they were playing in the Nou Camp, the wall was the tallest person was standing on the inside post. This time, when Messi got the free kick, around the same position, 27 meters away from the goal, they changed it. And it was kind of this way. So Messi couldn't see the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper with one step.
It was scary when he got that. It was so scary when he got that chance.
So good teams learn from their mistakes, and I think if I say Alisson is a good student, he justifies it. Look at what he did at Roma. Look at what he has done again at Liverpool. It shows you that he's the kind of goalkeeper who is willing to adopt to the player he's playing against.
And they don't come any better. Anyway, the fourth goal, Divock Origi, that was just amazing because now they never expected it also. As guys were lining up, I think they thought Shaqiri was coming to take this corner, but that was so confusing. And when you see these young guys who kind of have these brains, quick brains, quick reactional brains, like they punish them. Just like that.
Yeah, I saw what happened and I was reminded of my own days when I was in the academy football. And I had a coach who used to tell me...
Steve.
No. I was once a very promising player. It's because I decided to take a career in the league and I never stepped back.
Steve, ulikuwa una count watu kwa
Anyway, as I was... Let me take my point. As I was saying, we were always taught, always be on your toes. Never be flat-footed. Never let the opponent catch you flat-footed. Let them always find you in a state of your body is ready to move, your body is in a good angle. You're not starting from zero. And I think that was the mentality Trent had. The ball boy himself also helped very much.
He was the hero of the moment.
He had been instructed before the game. Always make sure that the Liverpool players get the ball quickly because Klopp's coaching staff had noticed. Barcelona really freeze during set pieces. They take a lot of time to organize themselves. So this ball boy particularly, so immediately the other ball had been kicked out because you can't have two balls on the pitch. He quickly placed the ball there and Trent sensed the opportunity. And that instinct that everybody is taught when they are young, always be on the lookout, don't be flat-footed. It's clear that perhaps some of the Barcelona players missed that lesson because only Piqué was in a position to try and block that shot and he couldn't because it came too fast.
It's true that.
So it's all about alertness because the Champions League is the highest level of European football. You have to be at your best for all 90 plus minutes.
It's true.
And just one moment could be the defining moment, and that was the defining moment.
I was waiting for Steve to just talk about how Origi was similar to his father in the way he arranged his footing very fast, and so that I can't score in the near post because Ter Stegen is there. Went for the far post and didn't go for a low shot. He lifted it over. That shows you of the class he has. He's similar to his dad in many ways.
Did you watch his dad play for Harambee Stars?
Yeah, against Burkina Faso.
I think he scored, eh?
He scored the first goal and the last goal.
Interesting, similar.
Between Mike Baraza.
Sorry, Michael Cott.
Mike Baraza scored the second.
Michael Cott scored the first and the last one.
Ulikuwa.
Nilikuwa. It was not a long time ago. It was only 2004.
He was in the academy.
So, looking at this conversation now, this is hilarious. Anyway, we're taking a short break. When you come back now, the conversation now goes to Spurs. Who thought that they'll score the winning goal actually the last second of the match? No one expected it. So, all that coming to you after a short break. All right, welcome back to Morning Live. This discussion during the break is kind of also heated and funny at the same time. Now, look at Spurs. Who expected Spurs now to come back and beat Ajax? These boys have the physique, they have the pace, they have the gas, and Lucas Moura single-handedly scored the hat-trick at the last second. Goodness, the last second. Football is surprising. Steve, sekunde ya mwisho, like added time, the last second of the match.
I'll be honest with you, Mudimba, that was the most disjointed second half I had ever seen. Because the first half, Ajax were clearly in control. They scored 2 goals.
2 goals. Like that was finished.
And if we're being honest, Pochettino is a great coach. But that was not about tactics. That was the Spurs players themselves who galvanized themselves and told them, you guys, we are losing to these kids. And we can beat them. Because you saw the manner in which the goals were scored. There was no structure to it. There was no, careful, nice passing. Ball up. Somebody who gets beats the defender, brings it back. And credit to Lucas for being at the right place at the right time. They were saying in Brazilian TV, the main Brazilian newspaper, sports newspaper, had written, their headline was, "The stars aligned for Moura." And it was true, because it seems everything he did in that game was right.
Yeah.
And you need to, I think every big player has one of those games. And there was also a big credit to Harry Kane, their captain, who didn't play, but apparently during halftime, he went into the dressing room and gave them a huge shouting at. And most of the players, actually, when they were interviewed, they said it was that talk by Harry Kane that inspired us. So it's good for the captain to be doing his captaining duties even when injured.
Now, first half, Ajax first goal ahead. They come again. They beat these guys 2-0 down. They were beaten at home again. Of course, as you can see on the screen, okay, that's the training they're having. But still, that miracle, as you can see, what really inspired them? Steve has said there was some pep talk during the halftime. But second half, of course, our very own Victor was injured, actually came out. But the inclusion also of some very solid players in the second half, kind of, do you think it catapulted all these things?
You know, you're waxing lyrical about this Ajax team, how they're young, how they lack the most important thing in such situations. Experience, man. They should have slowed up the game. They tried to get a third goal and just kill off the match. That didn't happen. Pochettino was brave enough. He decided, okay, my main man in midfield is injured. I'll put Soko there. Then I'll gamble with Lorente up front. And that changed the dynamics. He's actually the one who got the chance first to score, but didn't do it. And Lucas just took the ball, decided, well, we can have a tie. Let's try and have it. 2 minutes after that, everyone was panicking in Ajax, and the second goal went in. And that's when I felt that Ajax lost it, because even the substitutes they were making were really not the best. You can see that goal from Ziyech, one of the best, I think, attacking players in Africa at the moment. He doesn't get the credit he deserves because he plays in a small league. I hope next season he gets to a level that he's signed by a big team, so that you can see what he does.
Look at that goal. The last second of the game, like time. Goodness. Maybe Raul, if you can just replay that the highlights again. Looking at your screen, of course, that was the second goal scored by Ajax, as you mentioned. Indeed, Spurs were out completely. They were outdone in the first half.
But when you find yourself in these situations, in a knockout try, you just have to tell your boys that, guys, look, it can't get any worse. Let's be brave enough. Let's try and just get a second half win. You know, normally these turnarounds have been about one first leg and a very different second leg. But for Spurs, man, it was just one half. I think 55 minutes to the 90th minute changed that game completely.
Football enthusiasts out there felt like, goodness, tungekuwa na Liverpool na Ajax final. It could have made sense, but now we used to sing this guy play together at the English Premier League, but still, the English football, wow, the English writers, those guys who wanaandika, like, oh, English football.
It's
but
look
at the content, even the caliber of players in the English Premier League. They're foreigners.
Yeah, the truth of the matter is, Sam Allardyce once said the English league is the best league in the world without English players.
It's true.
And that's the truth of the matter, because even I think it's only in recent years English academies have been able to produce good English players like Harry Kane,
Alexander
Dele
Arnold even,
Alli, Alexander Arnold. But the gap is still very huge. And remember, there's a lot of finances, a lot of foreign finances. Abramovich at Chelsea, the Glazers at Manchester United, Kroenke at Arsenal. So if I'm coming to a foreign country, I wouldn't really want to deal with them. I'll just look for the best players in the world and I'll put them there. That's why you find Man City with Sergio Aguero. Almost everybody there is Spanish in one way or another. Was played in the Spanish league. But also let's give credit where it's due. The EPL has been very, very competitive in the last 2 or 3 seasons.
I think Kamani has...
Come on, guys. You can't say that English players are that bad. Man, they are semi-finalists in the World Cup. It doesn't get any bigger than that.
But they're not as good as everybody else.
But look at the core of their players. Most of them are playing at Spurs. Spurs are in the final of the Champions League because they have died in that midfield. They have come all the way. You look at Trent, was instrumental in that game. Look at Trippier, though he was substituted. He played really well.
Because the winning goals.
But it comes down to how investments are done in teams.
Now, you're very right, but still, when you look at even the caliber, okay, I understand Liverpool, Spurs, Manchester, that's Arsenal, Chelsea, Europa League. Now, it seems like I can count. Let me say Chelsea, Hazard.
Yes.
2, Azpilicueta.
Yes.
3,
Christensen, David
Luiz. Look at that. Yes. Arsenal, Lacazette, Aubameyang, Mustafi. The list continues. These are foreigners, man.
I totally agree. Yes. I totally agree. But you can't ignore the fact that England, since they lost their old core, the team that was one of the best in terms of personalities, that never won anything, have come a long way. At the moment you look at that team and you feel when they go to the World Cup or the Euros in 2020, they might surprise guys.
They kind of have the confidence.
The age is right. The experience currently is perfect because you look at the team they took the World Cup. I think only 2 players are retiring.
But
I think it's Milner and Henderson who might not play come the next tournament.
But let me use a big example to give you the point me and Mudimba are trying to say. English football is ruled by foreigners. Let's look at the English national team squad. If you take out Harry Kane from the equation as the number 9, who will do the striking for you? Maybe Wilson, maybe Welbeck.
True story.
But let's look at Argentina.
Sancho is there.
Let's look at I'm talking about number 9. Let's look at Argentina. If Aguero isn't playing this, he go in. If there is no, he go in. There's so many strikers. Icardi. Some of them are not even called to the lineup. But that's what we are trying to say is that the English core of players is very good, but they're very good at just the top cream. They're like 20 or so.
To cut to the chase, can you just say that these foreign players have had rub-on effect on the English core players, such that they're improving day by day, and they know how to win. They are not the most aesthetic when you see them play, but they know how to win.
Now,
that's what matters.
Sure. Pochettino, he's guided Spurs for the first ever Champions League final. But look at this guy, and look at Liverpool also. Trust me, the amount of players that Pochettino has kind of nurtured from Southampton in the finals will be over 5 players.
Yeah, it's no secret. He's a coach who is known for developing
both sides actually, Spurs and Liverpool. From Wanyama, from Mane, from all those guys.
Even Van Dijk.
Van Dijk, yeah, sure.
He's the one who scouted him.
Yeah. So you look at this and you see a coach who prefers to improve his players. And that's the best kind of coach, because he won't always be successful. Like Pochettino, he's never won a trophy.
Yeah.
But for him, even if Liverpool win, he'll feel like he's won that trophy for them, because he's developed their best player this season so far, Sadio Mane and Van Dijk.
Yeah.
So you look at that, and it's all about the legacy you leave wherever you work. Whether you're a coach, whether you're a news anchor, whether you're a journalist. You look back and you see who did I nurture to come to the highest level.
But I nurtured you, Steve. I nurtured this guy.
That's debatable.
Give it the African look. For the first time ever, Africa will be having 6 players. If we don't know about the status of Origi's passport. Maybe he has a Kenyan passport or he doesn't have. But you are looking at actually 6 players playing in the final that come from Africa. From Wanyama, the Sergio Reyes of this world, the Keitas. Senegal actually has two. So when you play against them, the AFCON, we are going to face Champion League finalists.
Wow.
But we have our own
We have
Anyway,
one. But,
okay, we have Wanyama,
I'm hoping the injury to Wanyama is not that serious, that he might be fit come 1st of June.
But thank you for bringing that up. Steve, Magoti Wanyama. All the time. Now, once he goes out, it takes so much time for him to come back. You remember the last time, he was out for
and
months.
They don't put him under the knife. Tells it's a story.
It's very difficult because sometimes players like those, they have chronic illnesses. You might find that Wanyama's knee condition is something that he's had 2 or 3 years, 3 years. But he knows, if he goes for surgery, it will probably take a very long time to come back to the game.
Why?
No, it's just how surgery works. The rehabilitation process is going.
Steve is very clever. He knows where you're pushing him.
I know where you're pushing me. But what I'm trying to say, after any surgery, the rehabilitation process is lengthy.
Someone tweeted
Yes.
that was actually it wasn't meant for Victor, but you see at him unadanganya miaka alafu unakutana na ule agement yako pale Ajax anakuhemesha mbaya sana. But look at this. Do you think Victor is maybe kind of old? What do you think?
I don't think it's in my place to speculate because the truth of the matter is he's a consummate professional. And Spurs have all these checks and balances.
Okay.
They are top club. You see, they're in the Champions League final.
Okay.
So I don't think they would recruit somebody who would cheat age.
Okay.
So that's just how the cookie crumbles in football.
You remember what everyone said? In Senegal, I'm 40 years, but in France, I'm 32.
But look at it this way. Look at this way. I won't care how old you are. How many years you have cheated, so long as if I give you a duty in that pitch,
you actually execute.
You execute. Kula kuku, wachana ile kitu kuku ilikula.
That's one way of
Anyway, story for another day. Now, as you're finalizing this conversation, Europa League is here again. Arsenal taking on Chelsea. They won last night, both teams. Chelsea, I think, survived also penalties. That was scary.
No, don't say last night. They won this morning.
This morning?
Chelsea won this morning.
Oh, this morning, actually. Yeah.
Arsenal qualified on Thursday.
Yes, that was scary also for Chelsea. Now, an English affair all again. But you see, the Champions League qualification also, Arsenal needs to win. Big time. You're an Arsenal fan, my brother. What do you think about this?
I think it's about time that Arsenal fans, Arsenal players stand up and be counted. This is a good achievement. This is the first time the club has been in a European final since 2006. So that in itself is an achievement. But the truth of the matter is that Chelsea will not make it easy. And our record against Chelsea this season speaks for itself. And in the first game at Stamford Bridge, they bet us 3-2. At the Emirates, we bet them 2-0. So these are two evenly matched teams.
Okay.
For Chelsea, Eden Hazard wants to make a statement before he makes his big money move to Real.
Okay.
The club has been banned from transfers, so they want to give their fans something to be happy about.
Okay.
So it's going to be a very, very competitive affair. And of course, Arsenal has more to lose than Chelsea. But it doesn't mean that Chelsea will go there lying down. They also have their own pride to protect.
Champions League qualification at stake here. Honest.
There is a reason why that thing is called UEL. It's Unai Emery League.
He's a master of Europa League.
You remember on Monday I was saying if Arsenal were playing league games on Thursday, they wouldn't have lost any. We could be number 3 because wherever they have played in the European duels, whether they have traveled all those distances and they have come out to the good. Whatever way Unai has rotated, he has come out to the result.
Okay.
And yesterday you felt that after 1-0, the team didn't panic like they have been doing. They just continued with the way they were continuing, got that first goal, and people were looking for a comeback, and the comeback came from Arsenal.
Interesting. That is so interesting. So, yeah, sure.
It was a very solid performance, and the last time Arsenal played Chelsea in another cup final, I think Arsenal won.
Wow.
Not thinking. They actually won, right?
Okay,
in the FA Cup.
FA Cup. Anyway, so Steve, how do you think maybe as just finalizing this now, the English Premier League is ending this weekend. The season now, it's ending on a high note, tensed also. Do you think Liverpool's win against Barcelona overshadowed City's now achievement this time round?
It depends from what spectrum you're looking at it.
Okay.
Because if you're a Liverpool fan, of course, winning Barcelona is more important. And to be honest, the comeback was spectacular. But the truth of the matter is Manchester City have done very well, because the hardest thing to defend is a Premier League title. It's very difficult to it's easy to get to the top. It's difficult to stay there for another season. So the truth of the matter is that this weekend is going to be very, very heated. Remember, if Man City make the mistake of drawing and Liverpool win, then Liverpool will have the chance to have a historical double with the Premier League and the UCL. So it's all to play for at the top also, not so much in the top 4 race, but of course it's all to play for between Liverpool and Man City.
Man City, maybe for example, they are held. Liverpool draw. Man City, they take it.
You see, already the Premier League had decided that the original trophy will be at Brighton, the Amex Stadium. Then the replica will be at Anfield. I hope the Anfield Cup don't steal that replica, thinking it's the real thing. But to be honest, emotionally, you feel that a Liverpool win will do justice to the Premier League. But you look at it keenly and think that Man City won it when they beat Manchester United the other night.
So Champions League, Europa, who win Europa League? What's your thought?
I think Arsenal will win the Europa League.
I knew you're an Arsenal fan. Onesimus.
Arsenal will win, and in the Champions League, I think it's a much more easier fixture to play Spurs for Liverpool than to play Ajax.
Champions League?
Liverpool.
Yes. Scores?
Maybe 1-0, 2-0. It will be a very tight and close game.
I think it will be a whitewash.
Okay, interesting. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming. Karibu sana Switch TV. Bwana Steve Rigu. Onesimus, I'll see you tomorrow on Sports Finale. And trust me, you can join us tomorrow from 2 p.m. We have a very interesting show right here in the studio. We'll be talking about all those things happening in the world of sport. We're taking a short break. When we come back, more discussions will actually continue right here on Morning Live.